ever feel like you're playing an endless game of whack-a-mole? So you had this plastic mallet and there was a board with holes in it. A little mole would pop up and you were supposed to whack it when it popped up. It moved very quickly and you also had no idea which hole the mole was gonna pop out of. And so really was a game of testing your reflexes. And sometimes life feels a little bit like that. The moment you get a handle on one area of your life, be it your career or finances, then some other area of your life might present challenges, such as family or health. Suddenly, you feel like you are in a game of whack-a-mole. Today, we're going to talk about how to move out of this strategy of approaching life where you constantly feel like you don't know where your next challenge is coming from, and you're simply on edge trying to put out fires all the time. This leads to what we think of as a grind, which is exhausting and causes burnout. Our goal for today is to shift our focus away from trying to handle the individual challenges or symptoms of the challenges that come up in our life, and really to be able to zoom out and look at the systems that our life is operating within. Hi, my name is Kalima Fergus Ayele, and I'm the CEO and founder of Round Trip Ticket Home, where we use design thinking skills to support school systems and school leadership teams with designing a culture of belonging and connection. These tools are also very instrumental in helping us to take on the role of leadership in our own lives. Many people ask, why did you call your company Round Trip Ticket Home? And in order to explain, I want to talk about a myth that's quite popular in our current culture, which is the story from The Wizard of Oz. So if you think about it, we have our young heroine, Dorothy, who's on a quest. We can also think of it as a hero's journey. And on this hero's journey, she meets some companions. She meets the Scarecrow, who's looking for intelligence. She meets the Tin Man, who's looking for his heart or compassion. And she meets the Lion, who's looking for courage. And they're all on their way to find the great and powerful Wizard of Oz. They believe that he will be able to give them all the things that they seek. But when they arrive, they find out that the man behind the curtain isn't really powerful at all. And in fact, everything that they were seeking, the intelligence, the courage, the compassion, they all had within themselves. And in fact, even Dorothy found that she could have returned home at any moment, because home is actually a place of safety and security and belonging within yourself. The core question for today is, are you looking at the symptom or are you looking at the system? We're going to talk about how you can do a friction audit. And a friction audit really allows you to look at your life, zoom out, and examine all the different areas of your life to see where the challenges are. For example, you can be thinking about your personal health. That can be your physical, emotional, mental, spiritual health. You can be thinking about relationships. That's connections with family members or friends. You can also be thinking about your work, what you give to the world, your career. Where are your biggest challenges? In design thinking, we don't jump to solutions. In stage one, we really want to take our time to empathize and define the challenge. And with that, we actually want to be able to sit with our emotions. What are the emotions that are coming up? And for this, you might want to use something like an emotion wheel. An emotion wheel allows you to identify the emotions and the energy that are coming up for you, not to judge or suppress, but just to become aware. Emotions give you valuable information about what is important to you. It's your body's way of signaling, hey, I want you to see something here. Once you identify the emotions, you can also connect them to the values that may or may not be honored in that situation. So for example, you may find that you're feeling sad because you really value connection, and something that just occurred with someone that you feel close to made you feel like you're not connecting. That allows you to at least start with some self-honesty, being able to say, I really feel sad about this because I value connection, and right now I don't feel like we're connecting. Perhaps that's a conversation with the other person, but maybe it's just valuable information for you to have for yourself. Once you have that information, you can now begin to think about, how do you want to design something in that area of your life? What do you want your connections to feel like? What do you want to do about it? And as we move through the other stages, we'll begin to look at the next steps of this process. But remember to take your time with stage 1. Don't rush it. What are your beliefs about these challenges? These are questions that only you can answer. There's a lot of information that can be unlocked just within yourself. Redesigning your life is the ultimate hero's journey. And if you know anything about Joseph Campbell's hero's journey, it takes us through the stories that we hear and see in our movies, in our films, in our books. But we have to see that that hero's journey is reflected in our life as well. You don't have to go it alone. I've had many years of experience going through the hero's journey, designing the life that I want to live. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, but was able to live at various points in my life in Tanzania, East Africa, South Africa, Lesotho, Cairo, and upcoming, I'll be moving to Morocco. Join me if you're in a moment of transition. It could be anything. It could be a life change. It could be a career move. It could be a new relationship. It could be the end of a relationship. Let's work together so that we can support each other on this journey. I'll see you at the campfire.